didn't know it showed the chat there. All right, welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to be showcasing our European trains. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. It may be a little bit loud. A lot of the wheel flanges are big, and we have Cody 3 track in most places, so it's going to be a lot of clickety clack. We're going to get started with an old Hornby tank engine with some coaches in maroon, and of course the A4 Mallard in blue with two Pullman coaches, and then we'll be swapping out trains as we go. Well, it's running pretty good actually at slow speeds. It's jerking a little bit. So I don't know if anybody else has had the Hornby Mallard. I got it as a set. Actually, it was one of the first train sets I got getting back into the hobby, and I love it. But I had a huge problem with the pickups, and actually just fixed it before the stream. They basically just wouldn't make contact with the wheels deflected at all, so it would run great around curves, but as soon as it was on a straight track, it wouldn't run at all. But it's running a lot better now. So. Yeah, it's running a lot better. It's just a little bit, it just jerks like it loses contact for a second. Everything good? Oh. Why don't you move this guy a little bit? That way we'll have a little shot of it coming out a little bit. Alright, we'll get the Mallard going again. Yeah, even the Hornby, like some of the wheels. I don't think it's the engine, I think it's the coaches. The coaches have really big flanges. Yeah. I do love the way the wheels look on that though. So to give a little bit of background, the module that you guys are looking at now was actually our module from the Wathers NMRBO 2022 competition. We did rank in the top 5, but unfortunately, oh, it's just because my phone, I exited out of the app. Sorry. We placed in the top 5, but unfortunately we did not place in the final round. We went pretty crazy with this module. We did a underground subway portion, which we were really excited about. And then we did a kind of dual station top portion. Wathers, as part of the competition, gives you certain things in a kit, basically, to go along with your theme. And what they gave us, I'll wait till these go by. What they gave us was the older station you see on the right with the kind of brownish red roof. And the platform you see in the foreground. And the little, basically concrete tiles you see in the middle that we turn into a bit of a square. And we wanted to go a little bit above and beyond what that kit provided us. Because we also want to make sure that we fit the module into our layout as we want it. So we decided to go with a futuristic lifting station, which you see on the left, which we scratch built and 3D printed. And then have it be kind of the new version of a station where the station that was provided in the Wathers kit is actually kind of like an older station slash potentially museum. We never really got to explaining it that far. And then you can't really see it in the live, but we basically have an old rundown platform in the center that is kind of meant to be paired with the older station. And then we use the Wathers kit they provided in the foreground to be our more modern station. And one of the things we did is for the main part, just used the kit, but we also added the stairways to go down to the subway that we built below it. We added escalators that we 3D printed, and then we added end caps that were, let me prove this so you can see them. You can see we have rounded end caps on the roof that we 3D printed ourselves and added. We inlaid fiber optic cable, so it adds a little bit of a Star Trek-y light line going around the end. And then we also 3D printed a rounded base to match it. So we just kind of augmented that kit a little bit just to get it to match our modern train station. So it was a ton of fun. We had to kind of expand the kit a little bit to get the look that we wanted for a module, but it came out great and it was fun doing the competition. We don't have a box, so I don't know what that engine is. No, I know that. I mean in real life. So, as I'm sure most people know, one of the interesting facts about the Mallard, besides its cool streamlined look, is it broke the steam record in Europe, and it went 126 miles per hour, and that's on July of 1938, which is pretty cool. So you don't think of older trains as going fast, but it actually broke the speed record. It's one of the interesting facts about it. No, we're not breaking any speed records on this layout. Because things will get ruined. So we'll do an all of Mallard run one more time, and then I'll pull it over into the engine shed there, and then I'll take out the blue. That's another thing, I don't know what that is. I don't know where the box is. Oh, I have it. Never mind. Right here. That's going to be the last run around of the mallet. You'll see it one more time, and then we're going to put it in our engine shed and pull out another European train. Unfortunately, I don't know the history of the maroon Hornby engine you see there parked at the station. I believe it is an older model. We got it on eBay. I'm not sure of the time frame, but I want to say the 80s. It runs pretty good. We DCC fitted it. It wasn't a model that came DCC ready because it was an older model, but it was pretty easy to wire, and it runs really well. Actually, we don't even have a keep alive in it, and it actually makes it over points quite well. Can you flip that point in the inside? Other end. No, other end. Right next to the bridge is where you flip it. No, the other, yeah. There you go. Just watch it. I don't know if it's going to make it there successfully or not. It should go back to the track that we pulled that out of. Oh. I forgot you had flipped that already. Hold on, you have to leave that because it loses power. Now back it up. No, back it up. It's just stuck. No, I mean just wait your hand. Yeah. I'm gonna do a live broadcast without incident. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I forgot we prematurely flipped that. So. Alright, now for 28. Go ahead and go forward and then flip the switch back. This train's a little bit longer, so we'll have trouble getting out. The switch is in the wrong direction, though. Yep, you're right. Oh, I have to put the coal load in that. Alright, you can flip it back. I don't know what he did with it. Is it over there? Look at the coal load in it. It fell out while I was working on it. Oh, Chris. Had a bit of a derailment. There's a lot going off the scene. I guess now's a good time to explain. So we have basically two modules that we would say are pretty much done. Both of them are actually Waters and NVRVO modules. I'll show our port module off in a little bit. But we've just started kind of actually building our layout and including these modules. So there's a lot of visible plywood around the layout that we'd rather not show you. So there's a lot more track than you see here, but you know, eventually as we get work done, and once we get ground cover down, we definitely want to start showing it off. So the next train we are going to have coming around here is a Bachmann. It is the Caledonian class 812. It's in the blue livery. It's a really, really beautiful engine. I was looking for this one for a while and got it for Christmas. It runs really well. You'll see it's pulling two red Hornby coaches. that are also beautiful. I love the look of kind of the really old, almost steampunky look of this engine. So I'll stop it right in front so we have a few minutes to look at it. And here it is. So it looks a little dark there, but it's a very, very nice blue color. We've got two Hornby coaches. I don't know what class they are. This guy could probably pull more coaches, but I have not tested it. So these Caledonian engines were introduced in 1899. They are 060 locomotives with a tender, and they ran on the Caledonian Railway. That Hornby does a really nice slow crawl for an old engine.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Great.
I'm obsessed with it.
The one thing about the Bachmann Caledonian, I love it, but it definitely has a bit of a geared for speed situation. So it doesn't have super high torque, so it does slow down quite a bit if there's any kind of incline. Nothing that bothers me, but just something to know. Oop, these coaches are being bad. That switch is also a little bit troublesome. Is it on?
So Cody, I didn't know this, but is there a particular kids TV show that's modeled after European trains?
Yes. Sure, everybody knows Thomas the Tank Engine.
I think that was the gateway
For everybody. I mean, anybody our age now, I feel like Thomas was see that switch I told you was a problem. It changes itself. We have a switch that doesn't have a spring lock on it, and I do not have a point motor on it yet, so it's kind of free floating. And, oh, I don't know why those are having trouble there. That's usually a pretty, oh, sorry, I thought I stopped it. While we're dealing with issues, I'm going to switch over to our NMRBO, and I've been saying that acronym. It stands for National Model Railroaders Build-Off, and it's produced by Waters. So this is our port that we did in 2021 that we actually placed third place in. We had a ton of fun doing this. So the view is kind of down the module. This was a 6-foot module, whereas this year we only had to do a 4-foot module. And we decided to kind of break it up and have part of the module be water. So maybe I'll actually do kind of a handheld tour of it here. So I'll start over here on the back end. So as you can see, we did some water texture here. We did a fisherman's wharf in the back. Cats got to it, so the shark that was hanging there is now back in the water. We built one of the Waters floating rail car boats to kind of add to the scenery. Right now we have it loaded up with basically all of our freight stock. We got the crane also and the matching cobblestone and trap to go along with it. We are really wanting to motorize this eventually. Right now we moved recently and we're actually missing some of the roofs. I've got to find that. I scratch built a gantry for the, one second, a gantry basically so we can lift containers. I took that container apart, put little magnets in it, and used earring clasps that are magnetic to basically make it stick to it. So we can take that off pretty easily. This is one of the buildings they provided in the Waters kit. We just had to turn it into a mail depot. So you'll see people down there loading up mail. We put U.S. mail on the top. We built this little model truck kit as a mail delivery vehicle. You can see we have passenger trains here as well. So the official theme of the Waters and MRVO 2021 was down by the station. So we kind of bent the theme again, and we included the station, had a station, but we wanted to have the station basically be down at a pier. Here we did the, I'm going to forget what it's called now. The ramp, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, the ramp that connects to the boat, which is really cool. It's a fun kit to build. We did a very weathered version of it. And I think it's still up there. Yes, we have a person climbing up, which they shouldn't be going into the housing there. There's a little bit.
Without a little humor.
Yeah, we try to put some funny stuff in. I don't know, a lot of our people are on the ground because of our cats. Here we have somebody trying to jump over the fence, and actually it's probably hard to read the camera, but we have a little sign that says no trespassing. I'm clearly ignoring that. So here's a little bit of close-up of the station. You can't see much because the train's in the front of it. We extended it down to here. And then we have our switch tower. A railroad crossing here with two lights. As you can see, the foreground one, the cat's got to that as well. And then we have this scene we kind of custom built ourselves from scratch, not the truck. We built a crane and just a bunch of packages, and some packages being loaded and netting here. Just to add a little bit more to the scenery. We made the fence out of tulle and brass pipe, so that's scratch built. And the concrete pads are all just adhesive foam that we painted gray to look like concrete. And this will be coming out soon, but we have a little European freight train set up here that will have come out a little bit later in the stream. So yeah, there's a tour of our port module. We really like this module and hope to do some like switching operations and some fun stuff with it down the line. And we'll set this guy back up. All right. Yeah, I don't know why those would be railing so bad. They're usually very well. Well, the switch is the wrong direction. The switch is the wrong direction. One right in front of you. The one that these, yeah, push it away from you. Yeah, there, nope, away. Alright, I'm actually, can you flip that switch far away from you back? I'm going to park this guy back up. That one. Yep. And then we will get out our freight train. Do you want to try running this, the Fleischmann? Whoa. Dude, it just sped up a lot all of a sudden. Okay. Nope, it's not happy. It's shorting, I think. My train is shorting, yeah. I think it was running so smooth. Alright, so the next train, I don't know a whole lot about the history of this engine. It's actually an old Rivarossi. So most of the trains we've been running so far, actually, all of them have been 00. So for those of you in the US, 00 runs on HO track, but it's actually 176th gauge. So the engines are a little bit bigger compared to HO scale. HO scale is 186th. The reasoning I have heard, you have to run in the opposite direction, in other YouTubers' videos, and flip that switch in front of you. Both of them. The reasoning I had heard is, I guess, I don't know how true this is, but in the early days of modeling, it was hard to fit motors. So putting the European trains in actual OO scale or HO scale would have been too difficult because it would have been really small. Obviously today that's not true because we have a lot smaller scales that run really well, but that's the reasoning I've always heard. So basically, if you have OO scales, you're gonna have to keep pushing it. If you have OO scale locomotives next to an HO scale locomotive, it's gonna look a little bit off because they're a little bit bigger. But in real life, most European engines were a lot smaller than American engines, so that's why there's a difference in scale. So anyway, the next engine I'm going to be bringing out is that HO?
I believe so.
And it's Fleischmann, right?
Yep.
So we're bringing out an HO scale Fleischmann. It looks like a combination engine. It's got pantographs on it. We don't have any overhead lines. Oh, I need to switch this over. And you can stop it. So this is a really cool engine we picked up at a train show in Massachusetts. And we did convert to DCC. We haven't added lighting yet, but we're probably going to have to add some keep alives. I have cleaned everything thoroughly, and for some reason it just doesn't pick up very well. So you'll see it probably stutter here and there. It's got really big wheel flanges because it's an older model. So again, apologies for the clicky clack. It's going to be quite loud when it goes by the camera. But yeah, it's a pretty cool engine. It's articulated. Oh, you mean move this guy? Okay, 40. Flick that switch far away from you back, then we'll park this one. But yeah, it's a really cool model. It also, one thing I did not do yet is clean the motor, and it sounds like the motor may need a little tending too, so. But it runs, it just stutters here and there. It will run pretty good around all of this, it's just, why is this thing? I do love the way those coaches look, they're so different.
They're beautiful. I love the double-decker look for European trains.
Yeah, you can switch it back. Alright, we should be good. So let this engine pass by, and then we're going to take out our European freight engine. Little steam engine, just as our last engine to run here on the live stream. Yeah, this will run pretty good through here. It's just when you get those switches in that area is where it's messed up. So you have to keep it at kind of a high speed. That is a beautiful engine. Yeah, the double decker is really cool. And the back of it is really cool. The back almost looks like the front. It looks like there's probably a cab so it can run in both directions. Yeah, it's a really cool engine. Can you change the switch, the bottom left one?
This one?
Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to pull out our, you can keep going with that one if you want. I'm going to switch back over to the port. I think you'll be able to see some of the cars. Not really. Ignore the building on the side that we're using for to elevate the camera. I wanted you guys to see the engine pulling out of the port, kind of a cool view. So we've got a couple of coal cars here, couple of dry van. We have a Pepsi, which is kind of cool. These are all Rocco, I believe. One of them is a Markland HO scale. We had to change out the wheels. And then lastly, I think we have a Fleischmann log car set, which is really cool. Can you push that forward? It's just stuck. Go back to the station. It's going. It's just slow to start. So this engine is really cool. It's a little, I just caught it at a shop we go to that has kind of rare trains. I'm not saying it's super rare, but that's what we go there for. It is a River Aussie. The reason I mentioned scale earlier is like the other diesel we have running, this is a Leaf French engine. However, this is actually an HO scale. So all of the cars you see it pulling are also in HO scale. So it's a little bit different here because the scale's proper to, well, sorry, proper to what should be if you're comparing it to HO. But the two trains we have running now are European trains, but they're in HO scale, not OO scale. This is another one that's pretty old, not DCC ready by any means. It was something we had to manually convert. Again, very easy. It's very spacious inside. I'll wait till this goes around. In this engine, the tender is actually the driver. So what that means is all the weight was put into the tender. So the front of the engine just gets pushed, and it actually is completely empty. No weight or anything. So it made it very easy. There's plenty of space for a little Digitrax decoder in there. Very easy to wire up. And it runs pretty good, being a tender driven locomotive. And it goes into off in the distance. Oh, I didn't know if you need me to push it or if it was. See, it's running better. It's just, it just gets stuck on some things.
I'm gonna grease up the old motor.
I think I need to clean the contacts on the motor. Oh, you know what? The engine it is longer than what I built it at, so it's not the strongest engine.
It's a very cute one.
I love it. It's such a fun engine to run. For some reason, I don't know why it bothers me so much. I think it's because I like prototypical running, but when we got it, gosh, this is so loud. When we got it, I was like, oh, I really don't like the fact that it's tender driven. Just because I like, prototypical engines running. But after running it around the layout, I do not care at all. I love this engine. It's a really cute little engine. It runs well. And I just ignore the fact that the motor's in the engine. So. Just real flanges. It runs really well. Yeah, it's that back corner. Oops, sorry. You give him a nudge forward. Alright, we're going to do another pass by of each engine, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap the live stream up. Thank you to anybody who has joined us or who watches this later on. The recording will be up on YouTube. Yeah, the points it does have a little bit of trouble. It's just such a small engine. Now we'll bring this guy to a stop, just so you guys can see it one last time. And there you go. There's our last two European engines. I hope anybody that joined us live enjoyed the live stream. We are, I believe, going to be doing our Streamline Hudsons next Saturday as our theme. So definitely stop by for that. The recording will be up on YouTube if you do miss it. And anybody who watches this as a recording on YouTube, also thank you. Please subscribe to the channel and click the alert icon so that you're notified when we do anything in the future. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.